of Black American or Black inventors, right? And the great things they have done. My name is Antonio Lee Miles. Yes, this is The Empire. And this is just some things to do to educate us, talk some information. So I thought it would be really good to talk about these things, these individuals, these men and women who have done amazing things for us and the planet, right? And this person today we're going to talk about is Garrett Morgan. Who is Garrett Morgan? I don't know. Do you know? Well, let's find out who he is, because we definitely have seen his inventions, his evolution of his inventions here in America, in the United States, and throughout the world, right? And let's start off with this. He was born in 1877, March, in Kentucky, right? Eventually, as a teen, he moved to Ohio and got a job at a sewing machine factory. And there he started to learn the ins and outs of a sewing machine, how it worked, how to use it, how all how all the machinery worked inside of it, the ins and outs of the sewing machine. And can you imagine what came next? I hope you guys all can. He was able to make improvements on the sewing machine. That's one of the things that he first patented, was making some improvements on the sewing machine. I won't go too much into it, but yeah, he definitely did some upgrades to the sewing machine. By 1914, Garrett Morgan patented what he called the breathing device, aka also known as the safety hood. And this was a device that people could put on to make it more easier and safer for them to breathe in environments that were full of smoke, toxic fumes, pollutants, all these chemicals that could be in the air. You know, things that people like firefighters, rescue workers, people who would be in these type of environments would need it, right? And his device, the breathing hood or the safety hood, the breathing device, became the prototype for the gas mask that was used in World War I during the chemical warfare and stuff like that. So we definitely got to give props to him for creating that. You know, I know some stoners out there were like, oh yeah, you know, I used the gas mask to... So thank him too for that too, you dang stoners. But yeah, he was the man who created the first, basically the prototype to the gas mask, which was called the safety hood for the breathing device. And if you look in the thumbnail, you see the whole thing just goes over your body and just sits there and lays there. It's kind of crazy. Kind of almost looks like an alien. If you look at it, kind of looks like an alien device. You know, it's amazing. But it was made in 1914, patented at least in 1914. And unfortunately, due to the times, there's a lot of pushback for him trying to get the sales because, you know, of racism, injustice, of course. But as being any type of creative businessman, you gotta look at things. You gotta figure out how to solve problems. That is the key to anyone being successful in this life, in any life, in survival. You have to figure out how to solve issues, problems when they come up. You gotta be brilliant from multiple angles, right? If you agree, give it a like up. So what he did was, smart man, what he did was he hired a white actor to pretend to be the inventor of the product while he was like the sidekick, you know, Sideshow Bob. And so, guess what happened after that? Sales skyrocketed. Everybody started buying it. Smart man. He used tools to his advantage too. He used the tools and took advantage of them, which is smart. Which I would do the same thing if that's how it had to go. You know what I mean? So sales went up, and you know the people that he was trying to market to primarily were firefighters and rescue workers, which is people who would need it. And so his sales went up. And in 1916, the city of Cleveland was drilling in Lake Erie for fresh water. You know, people are always searching for fresh water because there's only so much of it, right? As they say. And they hit a natural gas, and an explosion happened. They don't say, according to the research I've seen, how extreme the explosion was, but it was enough to create a catastrophe where several people got trapped and died. And Garrett, on his own accord, with his brother, decided to put on the device that he created and go into this cave, into this explosive area, and they were able to rescue a couple of people, right? They were able to rescue a couple of people. What a humanitarian. You know, the messed up or the effed up part about this whole situation was that once he did this, him and his brother, the public knew that he was the true inventor of the breathing device, the safety hood. And after that moment, his sales went down because they saw that this black man, this Afro-American man, had created this device. And on top of that, him and his brother never got credit or, reward or even appreciated for saving people's lives. But that's okay. Lesson learned, people. Sometimes you got to do things out there and expect nothing in return. Just do it. And if you believe in the law of karma and the law of attraction, just do things righteously and let it flow back to you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to move without looking for other people's appreciation. And that's just how it's going to be. Right? And so, yeah, he lost a lot of sales after they found out that a black man invented the breathing device, the safety hood. So, in 1923, he created the traffic light, the stoplight that we all drive to, right? But this one had a light to indicate that the red light was going to come. I call it the yellow light. He invented the yellow light with the arm and also the arm to come in and stuff like that. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that there was no arm that he added, but the for sure innovation that he did with the traffic light and everything was that he added the symbol of, I call it the yellow light. Instead of things as being green and red, he added the yellow light to let people know that you have to stop soon so that way the other traffic could come. And he came up with this idea after seeing a horrific accident, a horrific traffic accident. And, sometimes what I love about inventions a lot of the times is that sometimes it can just be something so simple that you can add, innovate to, that can just make such a drastic change. And that's what he did with adding the yellow light, was giving people warning, hey, you're going to be stopping soon. And I know a lot of us, we see a yellow light and like, we go right through it. But this gentleman here, Garrett Morgan, was the man who helped the innovation of the traffic light. And picture this, guys, before the traffic light was even invented, there was cops out there saying, you may pass, you may pass, you may pass, right? So kudos to this gentleman, because we all use traffic lights nowadays, right? We all use traffic lights, right? And I want you guys to, when you guys get a chance, to Google the colors of the traffic lights. Why are they red, yellow, and green? Right? Why aren't there any other colors? Why aren't they purple, orange, and black? Right? I want you guys to look that up and see what you find out, the reasons why. So, Mr. Garrett Morgan, he died in 1963. And so I enjoy telling you guys all about these inventors, these black American inventors, these black inventors that have helped the society, helped the country, helped the world with their inventions, because it's crucial to know. I really believe it's crucial to know. A lot of the information I've never heard of it myself, so I'm learning. I hope you're learning. Please share it with other people. Teach your children, teach your family, regardless of their background. This information is important to know, because there is, in my opinion, there is a stigma on copper-colored people, on black Americans and what they've done. And so things like this can kind of help put a light into, like, hey, we use things that they have created, and they are valued. They do have knowledge. They're not just ignorant out here, right? So let's give praise and honor and respect to Mr. Garrett Morgan for his invention of the breathing hood and the traffic signal. And again, this is The Empire. My name's Antonio, The Miles. Yes, the one and the only, the real one, not the phony. And if you didn't know, then you mustn't know me. And yes, this is day 4 of Black Inventors. So stay tuned for more, and we got so much more coming up. It's going to be all 28 days of February, Black History Month, but you can appreciate it forever and ever, because it'll be here for you guys. And until next time, catch you guys. Peace.